Joel Hilbert asks, can TopHouse do an a cappella version of the William Wednesday theme song without using their voices?
We're recording, by the way.
Brendan Bennett asks, when you have cybernetic eyes, what attachments divided by accessories will you have for them? Cybernetic eyes are the future, but the best way to explore the future is to become nostalgic about the past. That's why, for only $700.95, which in future currency is about $15, you can get the TopHouse eyepiece. This eliminates vision in your eye, but allows you to look more stylish, because TopHouse the band will be in your eye. Or you can sign up for TopHouse's future Patreon account, which is only $900 in future currency. Oh wait, crap, nope, sorry, we're not supposed to announce that yet. You may be wondering, what other attachments can you have for your cybernetic eyes? I, too, am wondering that. I am wondering what you can have for your eyes. It's a pun. It's a pun. It's a pun. But I'm assuming most common cooking utensils will also be insertable into your cybernetic eyes to allow you to have another appendage to help feed yourself. Franklin Magoo III asks, this is actually the idiot that was given the birth name Oliver. But I, as Frank Magoo, want to know who would win in a tag team wrestling match. Karl Marks and Kermit the Frog versus Blackbeard and the guy who created Miller Highlife, the champagne of beers. Now this is a question. On one side of the ring we have Karl Marks, one of the founding thought leaders in the realm of and Kermit the Frog, our beloved friend, founding thought leader on On the other side of the ring, we have another pairing, Blackbeard the Pirate. I've lost it. Where am I?
Blackbeard.
Oh, that's right. Blackbeard the Pirate, a great softball player, and the guy who created Miller Highlife, the champagne of beers. Let's go through the strengths and weaknesses of all of these characters and then compare them to see who would win in the fight. First off, we've got Karl Marx. Karl Marx was a German philosopher, economist, historian, sociologist, political theorist, journalist, and socialist revolutionary. Karl Marx's major strength is in his robust facial hair and his ability to persuade others. Having had a hand in most of the conflicts and political reforms of the 20th century to some degree, we can expect him to be similarly persuasive in this fight. His major weakness is that he's always sitting down, at least in this picture of him online. Kermit the Frog, a Muppet character, was introduced to the world in 1955. Kermit has many strengths, but I can't think of any of them right now except perhaps his most powerful weapon, his ability to sing the Rainbow Connection.
Someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Beautiful song. His weaknesses lie in his forearm strength. Blackbeard, also known as Edward Tieck, better known as Blackbeard, was an English pirate who operated around the West Indies and the eastern coast of Britain's North American colonies. Now, Blackbeard's strengths and weaknesses are pretty obvious. He's a pirate, meaning that he can do things like find gold and the Kraken. Having the Kraken is a powerful advantage that will only come into play if we're near ocean, but that of course is his weakness as well. Without a body of water, Blackbeard is simply a guy that looks kind of silly and speaks silly. Last but not least, creator of Miller Highlife, the champagne of beer. Perhaps the most elusive individual on our roster today. Frederick Miller was born in the past, in 1824. He owned a brewery. His first child, Joseph Edward Miller, was born the next year. Not the next year after he was born, but after he married his wife in 1853. That's why we know his child was born in 1854. Math. He died of cancer at the age of 63, but left behind a legacy. The champagne of beers, Miller Highlife. So what do we know about Frederick Edward John Miller? We know he was married in 1853 and that his child was born 1 year after. Therefore, we know that Frederick Miller has the ability to make one child per year up to the fight. His children can assist him in battle and will be obstacles to the other fighters. Frederick Miller once owned a tract of land in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. If he is able to make everyone fight on this tract of land, he will have home field advantage. His weakness is that he died of cancer at age 63. Now, we don't know how old Frederick is when he fights this battle, but we can say that if the combat stretches on long enough, he will grow weaker and die. So now, the battle begins. On one side of the ring, Karl and Kermit. On the other side of the ring, Blackbeard and Frank. Blackbeard and Frank have an important decision to make. Should they fight on the sea, and therefore play to Blackbeard's abilities, or should they fight on land, preferably Frank's land, so that they have home field advantage? Karl and Kermit are too busy riling up the townsfolk by singing the Rainbow Connection and spreading the joys of socialism. First, Karl will attempt to convince Frank of the wonders of communism, but Frank will not know what that is because he was born before the 20th century. Frank offers everyone a Miller Highlife, including his buddy Blackbeard. Blackbeard shrugs and takes a swig. But there's a problem. Right after he's done downing his Miller Highlife, the champagne of beers, Kermit takes a swipe at Blackbeard. Blackbeard is easily able to deflect Kermit's weak blow because of Kermit's weak forearms, but Blackbeard begins to cry. Being slightly tipsy and so far away from the sea, he can barely stand. He yearns to nestle in the bosom of his mother, the mother of the ocean. Yes, you guessed it. They chose to fight on Frank's swath of land, his tract of land in the upper peninsula of Michigan, instead of fighting on the ocean. Karl sees Blackbeard's weakness and tries to persuade him to become a communist. The conversion begins to take place, and soon Blackbeard will begin to work on the commune. Karl Marks watching in awe. Doesn't make any sense. But Karl forgot one thing. He's on Frank's land. Frank kicks Karl. Karl can't move because he can't do anything except sit down. So Karl falls over, and Blackbeard is not converted to communism. Frank's wife and one-year-old child then join him, and they all join Kermit in a rousing rendition of the Rainbow Connection, to cheers of the commune that Karl Marx had been joining.
Someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La-da-da-dee.
And then Kermit learned the true meaning of Christmas from Frank's son. And then Frank died from cancer, which meant Kermit won. But he learned something important. And that's a good thing. And all was peaceful until the day the Fire Nation attacked. Rachel Hawkins says, "If I hear children screaming, 'Yay!' one more time, I will lose it." Eclipse Cook asks, in the song Up on the Rooftop, why do the reindeer have paws? Is this a side effect from the genetic engineering from making reindeer fly? Has Santa violated intergalactic laws? Yeah, I don't know if I can do this. That sounds like a question for our Christmas special, which will be coming up here very soon. But until then, stay tuned and subscribe so that you can see Jesse making an omelet blindfolded at 250 subscribers. Everyone, I hope that you have a merry almost Christmas-ish.